Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's going to be a quick little video in here, just going to show you what's going on. So it's post-harvest and bottling. Been doing a lot of bottling, been trying to get caught up. Out of the 14, I think, buckets I had, I'm down to 2. And I did start a new project. I'll show you that here in just a second. But in the meantime, I got a nice care package from HiveAlive, and I'll do a separate unboxing for that. But to thank them for that, I wanted to show you how I'm mixing my syrup. I'm still building a few hives out into the second deep of some of my grafted queens and swarm cell queens that I had nuke splits and grafted queens in those, and they're grown up and they're into their second deep now. I've been feeding them light syrup ever since May, and when they got going, and or actually that was early June, but I've been feeding them quite a bit. I have slacked off the feeding a little bit, getting all the bottling done and the honey harvest and all of that. And I'm also doing this in my new north yard, and the 3 hives up there, 2 of them are in their second deep, and they're just about done. And the third one is it needs a little bit more feeding to go on that. So I'm still feeding the light syrup about 1.5 to 1, maybe 1 1/4 to 1. I've eased off of it a little bit. Let me show you real quick the method I use. So I'm running 43 hives now, and this works for me. I'm not feeding every hive. I'm feeding here probably 6 or 7 hives left that I was feeding pretty good, and some of those they're filled up now. They don't need any more, and I might actually put a honey super on them and maybe get a little bit of fall flow out of them if I can. So I use 2 5-pound buckets, a 25-pound bag of sugar from your favorite store, whatever that might be, and I split it half and half. Oops, I need another bucket. This bucket's got some in it still. So this will go to my north yard, and I'll have 3. So this bucket actually has a little bit of honey left in it because I use this to mix something special up, and I'll stick around to the end. I'll show you what that is. Go grab another bucket. So when I'm feeding, especially early spring, and I'm trying to get hives built up and on into the summer, and before the dearth though, you want a little bit of flow to be using this feed stimulant, feed supplement, and it's from HiveAlive. And I want to talk a little bit about this because I use this exclusively. I use it a lot, and I've seen really good results from this. The bees feed on it really good. In fact, last time I was feeding this at my north yard, I had a frame feeder. It was empty, and I started pouring this in out of the bucket with the spigot there. And I'll put a link to these spigots so you can add these to your bucket. These are really handy, and it makes it working with this and carrying around a lot simpler on a small scale. So I started pouring that in, and the bees smelt this HiveAlive, and it's almost like they were attracted to a queen. They just came up in there. They were just lined up like a swarm marching into a hive body, and they walked over to that frame feeder and just lined up and just started taking it in. So HiveAlive is really good for your bees' gut and their overall health. There's vitamins and minerals in here, and I honestly believe that the bees do better on this than just straight nectar. Now, if you're in a really hard dearth and you're afraid of robbing, I wouldn't use a whole lot of this or cut it in half because bees are attracted to it. They like it. And if you have a wimpy little colony, then you put some of this in there and there's a big strong colony next to it. That big strong colony is going to smell that, and they might go over there and wipe that out. But I also have another thing from Bee Smart that I want to show you to help prevent the robbing. Okay, I've shown this before, and It's a robbing screen, mouse guard, and you can lock a colony in with it too. And the way you put this on the front entrance, if you have 8 frames, you can snap these ears off, and to let them in and out, you open these 2 tabs. There's one on each side. What's cool about it though is, I think it's cool, the way you fasten it to the hive is you just pull a push pin out and stick it in these holes and stick it on the front of your hive like that. I normally use like bungee cords and stuff on those ones with the wood frames and the metal doors and all of that. I mean, those work, but it's kind of hard to attach them without screws and whatnot. But this is, I like the push pin idea, and all this is vented here, so you can stop robbing with that. And I've actually used that on hive number 1 when it was getting robbed out. Okay, back to this. So I used the whole 25 pounds. So if you're going to do 1-to-1, I think the mix is 1 gallon to each, and the 1.5-to-1 is like 1.8 gallons. It might be 1.5 gallons per side for the 1-to-1. I'll look it up and make sure I tell you right. Around this time in central Oklahoma, when you're in the heat of the summer and you're wanting hives to build up and maintain weight and not necessarily draw comb, you want to switch to a thicker solution 1-to-1. And I'm still trying to get some of those to draw comb, and I'm using, like I said, between 1-to-1 and 1.5-to-1. So I try and eyeball it just to get it half and half. I've done so many of these this year, I'm getting pretty good at it. And always make sure your valve is closed before you add water. This one has just a hair more, so let's even it out. Yep, that's it. So now I use water jugs or milk jugs to do my measuring of the water. And I use hot water because the way to get crystals to dissolve in a solution faster is to have smaller crystals, heat the solution up, and stir it. So I can't make my crystals any smaller, but I can heat it and I can stir it. So while that's filling up, this is what I do my stirring with, except I put a battery on it. Start with 1 gallon in each side. Okay, so the HiveAlive calls for 2 teaspoons per gallon of syrup. So since it's late in the summer and we're in the Derth, I do that and even a little bit more in the spring when I'm building up a new split. This time of year when the nectar flows off, I'm going to back it off. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons for each one of these sides. And there's, I'd say, 2.5 gallons total syrup per side when we get done here. So you can also use this HiveAlive and make a drench for your bees. Like say you're collecting a swarm or you're doing a cutout and there's a lot of bees on the cluster and you don't want them to fly. You can mix you some thin syrup and put some of this in there and just mist it on them. Don't get too much because they'll all be stuck together, but and you want thin syrup and give them just a little bit of that and they'll start cleaning each other and they're not interested in flying around. So you want to shake this up and be sure it's mixed up good. So I use a little shot glass measuring cup. I think I picked this up on Amazon. And I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons in each side. This also helps with the syrup fermenting and molding when you add this to it. If you don't use a HiveAlive in there and it's just plain sugar water, you can use 1/2 teaspoon of household bleach per gallon. So this is about how much I fill my second jug up to do the 1.5 to 1. And I like to mix some water in here so I get all the goodness out of my little shot glass. So this is a sponsored video. HiveAlive has sponsored it. They sent me a nice care package of some things I'll open in a later video and show you. That's so getting ready for closing out the year, and they gave me enough to get started in the spring. But you can get this online on their site. You can also get it at Mann Lake. If you go to their site, you can use my promo code Darren10 and you'll get 10% off of your order. I just want to say I don't promote products that I don't use and I have good results with and I really like. So if you've watched me for a long time, you know that. I swear by this. I think I get excellent results from it. My hives come out of the spring stronger when I feed them some syrup in advance, and their fondant patties and pollen patties in the spring, I think they make a huge difference. Last year I had a record-setting honey crop. This year I would have, I think, if it weren't for all the rain. All right, let's get this mixed up. So with that hot water in there, it dissolves pretty quick. I usually hit them twice. And that's it. And I use these lids for this feed that just snap on. They don't have the big gasket and all that. And if that liquid sloshes around in there a lot and hits this, I've had them pop up a little bit, like in the back of my little trailer if I'm jostling it around a lot. So having these not full to the top is better with this type of lid. Just saying from experience there. And it gives space to clean your mixer off. Just fling it off. And then I put it in the sink so it's not sticky next time I want to use it. There it is. All right. I'm going to, let's show you that thing I was talking about, the new project. Yeah, so I'm down to 2 buckets, and I don't have a whole lot of honey stored up. You know, a lot of bottles. And there might be 5 gallons in here. Yeah. There's a pretty good amount in the bottling tank. This thing's been working great too, the Hilco tank. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about out here. It's out here in the fridge. So I got a Inkbird refrigerator controller set to 57 degrees on my oyster shells and Grubbity Farms chicken stuff. And inside of here, light's not going to be on because it's off. But look at this. Creamed honey. I mixed it up last night with the seed. And I used, let's see, was it Mike Berry that used this? Cox's creamed honey for the seed. Oh, there it came on. And man, and that is so good, delicious. Oh, and I made enough extra, so this will be, and I filled that up after I mixed it, and I got, let's see, 1.4 pounds and 2 pounds. So this will be my seed for next year. And I got 31 10-ounce wide top jars. I can't wait to taste it. I don't know how long it takes to set. I'm guessing a week or 2. So now I'm gonna, after I end this video, I'm gonna go out to the bee yard. I'm gonna shoot another video. I'm going to, I think I'm gonna put some more supers on, and I still need to follow up on Hive 16 to see if that half drone laying goofy queen, the albino looking queen, ever straightened out and what's going on in there. I haven't checked it since I've harvested. And also, I think it's Hive 25. there was a swarm cell in there where the Magic Mountain Mama disappeared. So I need to check that one too. So I'm going to get out there and do that. That's the end of this video. Give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't. I need about 500 to get to 14,000 and I appreciate you helping me out. We'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.